You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, scrolling through real estate listings on your phone at 11:37 p.m. Each swipe brings a new pang of stress. $499,000, $505,000, $510,000. The descriptions promise a starter home, but your heart sinks because the numbers in your bank account whisper something different. You've done everything right. Good job, solid credit score, diligent savings. But somehow, the dream of owning a $500,000 house feels more like a nightmare you can't wake up from. Here's the truth. That so-called starter home is out of reach for the vast majority of people making average incomes. Between down payments, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and mortgage insurance, you're staring at monthly costs that could easily devour half your paycheck. The math simply doesn't add up. Hey, I'm Brian, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people get trapped chasing homes they literally cannot afford. Today, I'm going to show you not what the banks say you can buy, but what actually works in the real world, so you can make smart choices without setting yourself on fire financially. So what's really going on here? Let's break down the actual numbers. In the United States, the median household income is roughly $84,000 per year. Sounds decent, right? But now compare that to a so-called starter home, priced at $500,000. In the 1970s, a median home cost about 2.5 times the median income. Today, it's 6 to 8 times what the average household earns. Let that sink in. Even in other countries, the shift is dramatic. In the UK, the average house price-to-income ratio has climbed from around 3x in 1980 to over 7x today. In Canada, major cities like Toronto and Vancouver are seeing 8x income multiples, practically unattainable for most households. Meanwhile, wages haven't kept pace. Adjusted for inflation, median incomes have only risen 25 to 30% in the last 50 years, while housing costs have more than doubled in real terms. But the experts keep saying, just save more, just earn more, just buy in a growing neighborhood. That ignores the fact that the problem isn't minor. It's a fundamental restructuring of the housing market. The rules that applied in the 1970s no longer apply today. The mismatch between income and home prices is not temporary, it's structural. So, let's stop guessing and start calculating. The average person cannot simply scrape together a $100,000 down payment. The median savings for households in the U.S. is just $8,000. Property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and mortgage interest rates all stack on top of that. And that's before you even think about food, transport, or childcare. So what would it actually take to buy that $500,000 house? Let's run the numbers. Let's start where most dreams end. The first step, making the down payment. Standard advice says 20%. For a $500,000 house, that's $100,000 up front. Let that sink in. The median household only has $8,000 in savings. That leaves a $92,000 gap before you even touch your first mortgage payment. Almost impossible? Absolutely. Then there's the monthly mortgage itself. On a $400,000 loan at 6% interest over 30 years, your payment is roughly $2,850 per month. Add property taxes, $500, insurance, $300, maintenance for $120, and private mortgage insurance if you put less than 20% down, $300, and the total comes to $4,370 per month. Compare that to a household taking home around $5,000 per month after taxes. Congratulations, your housing costs are 87% of take-home pay. Period. Not a little tight. Not a minor stretch. You're basically living paycheck to paycheck the second you sign the papers. The "but I'll just" scenario. Many people think, I'll just save longer for a bigger down payment. Okay, let's calculate. If you can save $1,500 per month, it will take over 5 years just to reach the $92,000 needed for a 20% down payment. That's assuming zero emergencies, zero lifestyle creep, and zero increase in housing prices during that time. And let's be honest, housing markets don't wait. By the time you hit your savings goal, that $500,000 starter home might be $550,000 or $600,000. Another common thought, I'll stretch the mortgage to 40 years. Sure, that lowers the monthly payment, but now you're paying tens of thousands more in interest. And banks won't approve you if your debt-to-income ratio exceeds 43%, which means you still might get rejected. So most people never actually close the gap. They either compromise massively or get trapped in payments they cannot handle. And here's the kicker. Mortgage isn't the only cost. Maintenance, $420 per month on average. That's for fixing the roof, HVAC, plumbing. Unexpected repairs? That can double. Property taxes, $500 per month, rising every year. Home insurance, $300 per month, excluding floods, earthquakes, or hurricanes. Private mortgage insurance, $300 per month if your down payment is under 20%. Utilities, HOA, lawn care, appliance replacement, another $400 to $500 per month. Let's add it up. $2,850 plus $500 plus $300 plus $420 plus $300 plus $450 is almost equal to $4,820 per month. Psychologically, that's stress you can feel every morning, knowing one flat tire, one medical bill, or one job disruption could push you into crisis. And that's just the monthly cash flow. We haven't even touched opportunity cost, like investing or saving for retirement. So what household income is actually needed to handle this comfortably? Conservative financial advisors say no more than 30% of take-home pay on housing. To afford $4,820 per month, that's an after-tax income of $16,067 per month, or roughly $192,000 per year. Even the banks are approving loans for people earning $150,000 to $160,000, which leaves no margin for emergencies. Here's the brutal math. Only 10 to 20% of U.S. households earn $150,000 plus, and fewer than 5% earn over $190,000. This isn't opinion. This is mathematics being brutally honest. You can see why millions of people feel trapped, even when following all the rules of good credit, diligent saving, and financial planning. The numbers are stacked against average earners. The system lets you borrow, but it doesn't let you thrive. If you're new here and just subscribed, comment your name below. I read every comment and shout out new subscribers in my next video. I do appreciate you joining me on this finance journey. Meet the Smiths. John and Lisa, both in their mid-30s, college-educated, dual-income household, grossing $160,000 per year. They've done everything right by society's standards. Good credit scores, a 401k, emergency fund, and now they're ready to buy that $500,000 starter home everyone says is within reach. Let's break down their finances. Income. Gross. $160,000 per year, roughly $10,500 per month take-home after federal and state taxes. Housing costs. Mortgage, $2,850. Property taxes, $500. Home insurance, $300. Maintenance, $420. PMI, they only saved $50,000 down $300. Total monthly housing, $4,370. After housing, they're left with $6,130 per month. Next, let's subtract other essential expenses. Utilities, electric, water, internet, gas, $600. Car payments plus insurance, $700. Groceries, $800. Childcare, $1,200. Health insurance premiums, $600. Retirement contributions, $800. Remaining, $6,130 to $4,700 equals $1,430 per month. And here's the reality. We haven't touched entertainment, clothing, unexpected medical bills, car repairs, or emergencies. We haven't touched vacations, student loans, or credit card balances. It feels like one flat tire could erase a month's buffer. It feels like a minor medical expense becomes a financial crisis. It feels like this starter home dream is actually a treadmill you cannot step off. Even making $160,000 per year, the upper middle class, you're left with very little margin. This is the reality for households earning $160,000 trying to own a $500,000 house. Now imagine the same scenario for the median U.S. household income of $84,000. Housing costs alone would consume 65 to 70% of take-home pay. There's no room for life, no room for retirement, no room for emergencies. At that point, buying a $500,000 house isn't just risky, it's financial impossibility. The Smith story shows that even doing everything right doesn't guarantee financial stability when chasing inflated home prices. Here's what makes this truly problematic. The system isn't designed for your financial wellness. It's designed for profit. Sellers benefit from escalating prices. Each comparable sale raises the next asking price, creating a cycle where homes get more expensive faster than incomes can keep up. Banks approve loans knowing that borrowers are stretched. They profit from interest and fees over decades. They aren't betting on your financial security. They're betting on your ability to pay. Even if you default, foreclosure means they recover most of their investment. Agents, their commission is a percentage of the sale. The higher the price, the more they make. The same applies to mortgage brokers and lenders. Everyone profits from the sale, not from your long-term stability. And once you're in, you're trapped. You're house poor. One emergency, medical, car repair, or job loss, and suddenly you're forced into debt, selling assets, or worse, foreclosure. The market doesn't forgive mistakes. It punishes you for following the rules. It's not about personal failure. It's a structural problem. Historically, the ratio of home prices to median income was manageable, 2.5, 3x in the 1970s. Today it's 6, 8x. The advice hasn't changed, but the math has. Financial gurus, websites, and even some banks still give outdated guidance. Just buy, just invest, just stretch your limits. The mathematics cannot work. It will not work. You can follow every rule, save diligently, and still end up financially strapped. Let's be honest. Chasing a $500,000 starter home today is not a personal failure. It's a systemic trap. And understanding that trap is the first step toward true financial empowerment. So, what's the practical takeaway here? Let's be brutally honest. If your household income is below $150,000, buying a $500,000 home is a stretch too far. I don't care what the bank pre-approves you for. I don't care what friends say. I don't care what the financial gurus tell you. The numbers are the numbers. Here's what actually happens when you ignore this advice. Month by month, your savings dwindle. First, you cover the mortgage. Then taxes and insurance. Maintenance pops up. A leaky roof. A broken appliance. Car repairs. One emergency. And suddenly you're forced to borrow, or worse, tap retirement accounts. That's being house poor, where your home is technically an asset, but functionally a financial trap. Let me give you permission to do something radical. Stop chasing the $500,000 dream if it leaves you financially strained. Instead, focus on what leaves margin. Buy something significantly cheaper that still fits your lifestyle. Invest the difference. While others are house poor, you're growing wealth in liquid assets you can access. Prioritize freedom over status. Real wealth is the ability to make choices, not a house you cannot touch without stress. That's not your fault at all. You've been told to stretch, to max out credit, to prioritize a starter home over financial sanity. But the reality is clear. Spending 50 to 60% of take-home pay on housing is not building wealth. It's debt. It's anxiety. It's vulnerability. By recalculating based on real numbers and realistic income thresholds, you can preserve your mental health, protect your emergency fund, and actually grow wealth while others are stuck on a treadmill of payments and stress. This is the path to freedom, not just homeownership. The financial industry has done an incredible job convincing people that buying an overpriced house is a necessary step to success. Banks, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, even financial blogs, they perpetuate myths. You need to buy now or miss out. Starter homes are affordable for everyone. Your home is the best investment you'll ever make. But they're selling you a product. Every commission, every interest payment, every fee flows to someone other than you. Your financial well-being isn't their priority at all. They profit when you borrow more than you can safely handle. And here's the kicker. They keep recycling the same outdated advice that worked decades ago when the median home cost 3x median income. Today, when it's 8x, following that guidance puts your household in real danger. The system isn't broken by accident. It's optimized to maximize profit, not protect your wallet. Understanding that is liberating. You're no longer a passive participant in a rigged game. You can step back, reassess, and make decisions that actually build freedom and security. If you're sitting there right now feeling stressed, frustrated, or even guilty about not being able to afford that starter home, here's the truth. You're not failing. The system is failing you. You've been given rules that no longer match reality. You've been told to stretch beyond your means, to chase a dream designed to benefit everyone except you. But you can flip the script. You can reclaim control. Step 1. Run your real numbers. Calculate take-home pay, housing costs, and hidden expenses. Don't guess. Don't follow someone else's rules. Look at your reality. Step 2. Look for options that leave margin. That might mean renting a little longer. It might mean buying a smaller home. It might mean investing in freedom, not status. Step 3. Give yourself permission to walk away from the hype. Sometimes the smartest move is recognizing when the game is rigged and acting accordingly. Remember, being realistic about what you can afford isn't failing at adulthood. It's succeeding at mathematics. It's protecting your future. It's building wealth on your terms, not the system's. So take a deep breath. Step back. Do the math. Make choices that actually serve you. You're not behind. You're ahead because you understand the numbers, the risks, and the real path to freedom. If this resonated, hit subscribe for more no-nonsense financial clarity and comment below with your experience navigating housing costs. Let's start having honest conversations about money, math, and freedom.